Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Metaphysical Report. My name is Lysander Xanthus, and today is December 15th, 2019. Today I'm going to be sharing with you today's astrology, numerology, a card reading, crystal healing, and more. I like to start the day with a little energy clearing and a blessing. So for the clearing, today I'm going to use selenite and just send a peaceful, calming energy. I bless you, and I bless your day ahead. May you have peace, health, and happiness. Your day will be full of progress, success, good experiences, and good company. That was my cat. And so I'm sending you healing for a wonderful day ahead. Be blessed. So now we will move on to the astrology of today. Sorry. Cat things. So the sun is in Sagittarius, which has an emphasis on expanding our perspective and looking beyond where our perspective has been so far. Sometimes our lens of various parts of our lives can be just in here. So this is a time to kind of go beyond that. Mercury is also in Sagittarius, so it's really bringing that emphasis to how we think, how we express ourselves, and how we communicate with others. We have Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. So that is bringing an emphasis to if you're feeling trapped or limited in any area of your life, especially romantic relationships, family relationships, home life, opportunities, and personal development. Now is a good time to take a look at how our choices have led us to our current position, and to know that our choices can likewise get us out, and that now is a time to be a leader of our own lives. Mars is in Scorpio, adding a push behind this, giving us initiative to take these actions if we choose to. As it is connecting us very strongly with our true feelings, how we really feel about the people and situations around us, and making it very difficult for us to ignore that. Thank you for the coffee. Neptune is in Pisces. So there is intuitive knowing within us that is rising to consciousness, and it's up to us if we want to integrate this information or not. Uranus is in Taurus in retrograde, so now is a time of reviewing our comfort zone and asking ourselves if the way that we have been going through life is how we'd like to continue. The moon is waning in Cancer. So our attention is slowly being drawn back inward. And we may be feeling needy, emotional, sensitive, and our need for ourselves, we may be wanting more nurturing, tenderness, and care, whether from ourselves or others. So be sure to take care of yourself today. That concludes the astrology report. Next is the numerology of the day. Today is a 6th day. 6 is also a number of nurturing. It is a bit of a homebody who wants to take care of others. A 6 vibration is a nurturing vibration that tends to be a caretaker. Oh, is that today's crystal? The 15th of the month. This is a 6th day. If you had had a falling out or perhaps have argued with your partner recently, then now is the time to bury the hatchet and say you're sorry. Any conflicts can be reconciled today. This is also a favorable day for social gatherings, meetings, or just visiting friends. So being with those we care about and just having an emotional connection today. Now we are going to do a little crystal healing. And today's crystal, this is the yellow calcite.
It's a golden calcite.
So this is a golden calcite. This one has a darker color than some of the other specimens you've seen. I'm going to be telling you about this crystal in just a moment. If you would like to participate in this healing, all you need to do is sit, breathe, relax, and allow yourself to receive the energy. Katniss. So I'm going to look that up for us right now. Oh, I just thought it would be good to read it aloud, but you're welcome to comment it. That is helpful.
I was just going to send it to you.
Oh. To have it pulled up already, but thank you. So, golden calcite is said to encourage responsibility in leadership and the correct use of power. It is good for confidence and increases feelings of self-worth and courage. It assists in overcoming obstacles. It is also said to be helpful for learning all types of skills and developing new talents. And like all calcite, it is healing and a great mover of energy. So I find the energy of this crystal to be very pleasant, but you will experience that for yourself in just a moment. I just really want a sip of this coffee first.
I put a little magic in our coffee this morning.
Oh, good.
You can always make that the magic tip of the day.
It's not a daily thing anymore, but magic tip of the day, coffee is magical, not just for the obvious reasons. Like all plants, it has properties, and you can enchant it to help give you focus, banish negativity, and keep you grounded, as well as other things.
I'm teaching what she said. Coffee is magic.
Alright, let us begin the crystal healing now. Place this on your third eye. This crystal wants to send energy to the mind and the mental layer of the aura. Drawing a circle of protection around you for you to carry through your day. Very slowly, this crystal is sitting in the center of you and emitting its bright energy outwards through your being. Allow its energy to push out all that doesn't belong to you, all that is dark and heavy and not serving you. Once it's encompassed your energy, allow yourself to relax and feel safe. Concludes the healing with golden calcite. Take this energy in and be the leader of your own life today. All right, let us take a moment to sit in that energy. It's a bit warm in here, so I'll keep lifting my hair. Whew. It's all right.
We're not winning this one. They're winning.
I know, cats frequently win. Next, we will be moving into the affirmations of our day. Just always good after healing to take at least a moment to sit in the energy you've received. going to read this affirmation to you the first few times. And I would really like you to just listen so you're able to focus on the words a bit more than you might while saying them. After I say them to you, we will say them together a few times as well. I am open and receptive to all good. The universe loves me and supports me. I am open and receptive to all good. The universe loves me and supports me. You are open and receptive to all good. The universe loves you and supports you. You are open and receptive to all good. The universe loves you and supports you. And now we'll say it together 3 times. I am open and receptive to all good. The universe loves me and supports me. I am open and receptive to all good. The universe loves me and supports me. I am open and receptive to all good. The universe loves me and supports me. Wow, thank you for joining me in the affirmations today. This affirmation comes from Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. It's one of the spine affirmations. The spine relates to issues of feeling supported in life in every way that can mean. And I felt that we could all relate to that in some way, so that is why we're going through all the spine affirmations one by one. Next, we will be doing the card reading of today. So I am going to be doing a reading for all of you that will give insight and guidance into your day ahead. Today's reading comes from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. Just a moment. I will begin that shortly. Just need a tissue. I'm going to check the various pages I'm on for comments. Well, more like just my Facebook page in comparison. By the way, if you're watching this video in a shared location, I suggest commenting on the original post if you would like me to see your comment. On to
So far, everybody is grateful for your work this week.
oh, well, you are so welcome. You are worth it. Oh, Michelle Gonzalez says she just got this deck. This is actually the first deck I ever learned divination on many years ago. So, and this exact copy is the same one. same thing every time. I start telling it, I'm going to draw from you, and then it spits out cards. So we got some cards today, and it looks like we have 4 cards. So I will be sharing them with you one at a time, and I actually quite like to read the booklet. You will find that some of the reading applies to you, or perhaps all of it will. Either one is just fine. I also do like to interpret a little bit, but this deck is honestly pretty straightforward. That's why it's such a great beginner's deck. There's not much interpretation to be had. Firm Foundation is the first card. This card denotes that you have already or are currently working toward establishing a solid foundation in the material world. Using good judgment and heeding lessons from the past concerning financial matters will assist you in laying a firm groundwork. By doing so, security will have a better chance of building in the future. The material power that's now around you can either be an advantage or a disadvantage depending on how you respond to it. Don't let your current position determine who you are. Remember to give back and prime the pump of prosperity, for true spiritual and material wealth is as much about giving as it is receiving. Seek proper investment advice and realize you don't have to hold on to your possessions too tightly. Just be flexible and allow things to continue to flow. And as we go through the reading, I'll have more to say about each card. Second is Wisdom. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This card illustrates that there's a spiritual teacher who's about to influence you or step into your life to impart his or her wisdom. Look around. Is there someone in your life who's the acumen, education, knowledge, and ability to integrate spirituality and its laws into the constraints of the physical world? This could be a compassionate person who offers guidance and inspiration and reminds you that you're so much more than a physical being. You're also a spiritual being with unlimited potential. You may have also drawn this card to confirm that it's time to reach out and find an organization or group of like-minded souls. Being part of a group where you can be yourself, share your thoughts, and get valuable feedback can infuse you and encourage you to be all that you can be. Kindred support helps you live life to your highest ideals, finding true inspiration and enlightenment that's part of your soul. Over time, the student often becomes the teacher, so don't be surprised when others seek out and find you. This card of wisdom is letting you know that you have so much to share, whether you realize it or not. The third card is Intuition. Intuition is the language of the soul. When this card shows up in a reading, it's a clear message that it's time for you to use your intuition. Just give it a chance and you'll quickly notice how it might be trying to get your attention. With so much information in this world vying for your every thought, it's easy to ignore or fail to acknowledge your insights. Synchronicities and so-called coincidences are powerful signs that intuition is knocking on your door. Have you heard a phrase or saying repeated by more than one person today? Do the same numbers keep showing up in your life? Has someone mentioned the name of a specific individual whom you were just thinking of? These are all signals for you to pause, be open, and pay attention. This is a perfect time to seek the answers from within. Turn inward where you will find the solutions and valuable insights that are waiting to assist you. When you learn to use and trust your intuition, you'll begin to have a sense of not only the right timing, but you'll also begin to perceive people and situations with a deeper and more discerning eye. You'll not only observe beneath and beyond what's actually in front of you, you'll see the real deal. The last card is Triumphant Success. The first of the mental cards signifies that new beginnings and exciting challenges may be before you. By utilizing your strength, willpower, determination, and focus, there's the potential for you to reign triumphant in many areas of your life. In traditional tarot, this card represents the Ace of Swords. And since a sword is a double-edged object, it can cut through all barriers that hold you back if it's done constructively and with precision. Remember that there's another side to the blade. If you're rash or use it in a destructive way, it could be harmful to yourself and others. Always pause and think before you act. This card is a reminder to vanquish negative thoughts from your mind, strengthen and tap into your mental powers, and use clarity with control in order to initiate new ways of thinking. Kind of contemplating them all together. So, the way that I would take these cards, how they come across to me, outside of the description, this card denotes the need for a strong foundation, or for some of you it's denoting that you have one already, a foundation in that, like within yourself there is a strong resolve or inner strength, and it may pertain physically to being in a stable situation, but I feel as though it pertains more personally, stating that you have reached a point where you have internal stability and you're in a good place to grow and move forward. The next two cards, Wisdom and Intuition, it's saying that now that you have this inner foundation, that these are the next two qualities to begin integrating, seeking wisdom from others or from within yourself, and relying on your own inner guidance and intuition. It sounds simple, but it really is quite a process, and developing a habit of tapping into one's intuition and trusting it and understanding it, that can be a bit tricky. There. So, being open to different ways of looking at things and growing in these two ways. And if you can do that, it will lead you to success, but an important part of the success is the idea of a mental discipline. So you have a firm foundation, you're going to be adding wisdom and intuition, and these are things that kind of take years to effectively build. And a key thing that will help you integrate it and understand and interpret it is your mind. And with all these things, like I said before, it will lead you to success in various ways in your life as you learn to apply all those things and you grow as a person. So that is the reading for today. So now we will be moving on to our reading for the day, giving us a little food for thought and soul food to ruminate over throughout the day. and giving us a little bit of insight into how to manifest the life we want to create for ourselves, whether we're using law of attraction or magic. And the reading today, as usual, comes from The Powers Within You by Louise Hay. Currently, we are reading from the chapter Reprogramming Old Tapes, a reference to changing our cycles of thinking. You know, you have kind of a reactive tape whenever A happens. You go through a whole, not just B happens, but going through the whole cycle of the rest of the alphabet of your internal reactions and responses to A. Let us begin. I have learned that we don't always stay positive 100% of the time, and I include myself in this knowledge. As much as possible, I see life as a wonderful, joyous experience. I believe that I am safe. I have made it a personal law for me. I believe that everything I need to know is revealed to me, so I need to keep my eyes and ears open. When I had cancer, I remember thinking that a foot reflexologist would be very helpful for me. One evening, I went to a lecture of some sort. Usually, I sit in the front row because I like being close to the speaker. However, that night I was compelled to sit in the back row. Right after I sat down, a foot reflexologist sat next to me. We began to talk, and I learned that he even made house calls. I didn't have to look for him. He came to me. I also believe that whatever I need comes to me in the perfect time-space sequence. When something goes wrong in my life, I immediately start to think, all is well. It's okay. I know that this is all right. It's a lesson, an experience, and I'll pass through it. There's something here that is for my highest good. All is well. Just breathe. It's okay. I do the best I can to calm myself so I can think rationally about whatever's going on. And, of course, I do work through everything. It may take a little time, but sometimes things that seem to be great disasters really turn out to be quite good in the end, or at least not the disasters that they seem to be in the beginning. Every event is a learning experience. I do a lot of positive self-talk, morning, noon, and night. I come from a loving space of the heart, and I practice loving myself and others as much as I possibly can. My love expands all the time. What I do today is much more than what I was doing 6 months or a year ago. I know a year from now my consciousness and my heart will have expanded and I'll be doing more. I know that what I believe about myself becomes true for me, so I choose to believe wonderful things about myself. There was a time when I didn't, so I know I have grown and I continue to work on myself. I also believe in meditation. To me, meditation is when we sit down and turn off our inner dialogue long enough to hear our own wisdom. When I meditate, I usually close my eyes, take a deep breath, and ask, what is it I need to know? I sit and listen. I might also ask, what is it I need to learn? Or, what is the lesson in this? Sometimes we think we're supposed to fix everything in our lives, and maybe we're really only supposed to learn something from the situation. When I first began to meditate, I had violent headaches the first 3 weeks. Meditation was so unfamiliar and against all my usual inner programming. Nevertheless, I hung in there and the headaches eventually disappeared. If you're constantly coming up with a tremendous amount of negativity when you meditate, it may mean that it needs to come up, and when you quiet yourself, it starts to flow to the surface. Simply see the negativity being released. Try not to fight it. Allow it to continue as long as it needs to. If you fall asleep when you meditate, that's alright. Let the body do what it needs to do. It will balance out in time. One more section and then we'll pause for the day. Reprogramming your negative beliefs is very powerful. A good way to do it is by making a tape with your own voice saying your affirmations. Or recording, a voice recording. Play as you go to sleep. It will have a great deal of value for you because you will be listening to your own voice. An even more powerful tape would be your mother's voice telling you how wonderful you are and how much she loves you. Once you have the recording, it's good to relax the body before you begin reprogramming. Some people like to start from the tip of their toes and move up to the top of their head, tensing and relaxing. However you do it, release the tension. Let the emotions go. Get to a state of openness and receptivity. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is to receive the new information. Remember, you are always in charge and you are always safe. It is wonderful to listen to recordings or read self-awareness books and do your affirmations. But what are you doing for the other 23 hours and 30 minutes of the day? You see, that is what really matters. If you sit down and meditate and then get up and rush to work and scream at someone, that counts too. Meditation and affirmations are wonderful, yet the other times are just as important. I always want to keep going, but I don't want to keep you guys here forever. It is the morning and we all have a day ahead of us. So if you would like to keep hearing more, all you have to do is catch tomorrow's morning report and we will continue reading the chapter then. Oh, it's always tough because I can see what's ahead and my gosh, that's such a great thing to talk about. I don't know that I have a lot to add to the reading today, but the first section, while she was talking about herself and her own perspective and the way she thinks about things, it's provided as an example of her mindset, her state of being that she exists in. So I would contemplate how all the things she talks about differ from your state of being where you are now as a comparison for growth. And just knowing that it is possible to live in a state that she describes where you love and respect yourself and life is full of good things ahead for you and that you deserve all the goodness it has to offer and is going to be bringing you and that you feel safe. So that concludes today's reading. Michelle says, lol, I always fall asleep when I do meditation. That's okay. I do agree with Louise in that sometimes there are just things that we need that we're not aware of. And I think in the long run, more healing happens when we allow things to just happen. Us falling asleep under certain circumstances, such as meditation or in a certain environment, is often an indicator of feeling safe and on a deeper unconscious level, finally being able to genuinely rest. So let yourself have that. There are so many different ways to meditate. I don't think there is a wrong way. It completely depends on what your goals are. So it's not necessary to have total silence and emptiness in your mind to meditate. or to hold a particular position or anything, although that is a method and it is useful for developing certain things. If you want to not fall asleep, I suggest leaving your eyes open and not laying down or being too comfortable. So like sitting up or sitting in a chair, or even standing. You can meditate doing anything, or doing a walking meditation. And that's only if you would like to try meditation without falling asleep. You don't have to have your eyes closed to meditate. It's just about entering a state of awareness and being present and acknowledging things. Acknowledging what it's like to be you in this moment. So those are just some suggestions if you would like to try something different. Thank you for the link to nonviolent communication.
The reading today was talking about some good things, and I felt that maybe this would be a good start for everybody.
Well, I will take a moment to tell you about nonviolent communication. On the main video on Facebook, the Kitchen Witch shared a link to something called nonviolent communication. It is an audio training series. It is 9 hours long. So it is very long, but it is absolutely life-changing if you truly integrate its teaching. It is also a book, but I have not read the book, so I can't speak about what I think of that. It was created by Marshall P. Rosenberg, and it is a completely different perspective and way of expressing ourselves and interacting with other people that is, as it's called, nonviolent, where we are able to connect with what's living in us and our needs, and to connect with what's living in the other person and their real feelings and needs, and to find a way to live together and express that without so much conflict and interpersonal violence and blame. And not only how we communicate to others, but as the link was shared, how we talk to ourselves. Everything that we do or that other people do, we are trying to fulfill a need. Unfortunately, a good deal of the time, the way that we try to get our needs met are ways that don't work to actually getting them fulfilled. And oftentimes, we're not even aware of the actual need behind our actions. So, very illuminating. I think everyone should know this. But I understand that a lot of people may not be willing to take the time. Please be willing to take the time. Yes.
That's it.
Oh, that's
I'm just looking at you because you're pretty.
Oh. Well, I'm going to be drawing the Morning Metaphysical Report to a close, but now it's time for the daily plug. Be prepared.
Just remember, guys, this is a community project, and without all of you, it doesn't happen.
This stream can happen because of support from viewers like yourself. So think of the plug as just me informing you about all the ways you can become more involved and support the creation of free content like this.
Especially as we grow as a community, we are going to be growing this morning report so that it's actually including other speakers and other ideas, which would be amazing.
Oh yes, one day the Morning Metaphysical Report will involve a cooking segment and an exercise segment. Very exciting.
Of course, spiritually based. We have our dragon master who's going to be teaching an exercise routine eventually. And the kitchen witch will actually have a kitchen she can function in, and there'll be a cooking tip of the day. Yay!
Alright, so let me tell you all about it. So if you enjoyed this Morning Metaphysical Report, I suggest that you like, follow, or subscribe to my page or channel, depending on where you are, so you can continue seeing the morning report. The link to my Facebook page is in the description of the video. My page is called Lysander Xanthus, or @Lysander Clairvoyant. And if you like and follow me there, not only will you see the morning report every day, but you will see all of my other content, which includes free readings, free crystal healings, moon rituals that you're able to participate in, live Q&A discussion videos about different metaphysical topics, and much, much more. Right now on my page is the first part of my first webinar, How to Manifest Your Best Life. Is a 2-hour video. If that at all interests you, I suggest that you check it out as soon as you can, because I'm not going to keep it public forever. I'm releasing the second part today, which is not public, and that brings me to the next point. I highly encourage you to check out our Patreon link, patreon.com/freedomdreamcoaching. That link is also in the description of the video, and this is another important way that you guys support us. Patreon is a way for followers to support content creators. It's basically a monthly subscription, and in return for your monthly pledge, which could be $1 a month and up from there, you receive special perks and rewards for being one of our patrons. If you're interested in what those rewards are, just go to the site and be sure that you read each membership tier carefully, so you're getting the rewards you want. It also lists our goals, things we're working towards. There is some equipment that we need to continue improving what we do and to continue doing it. There is free public content on the Patreon that you can follow as well. But if you do become a patron, there is a lot more private, exclusive content that is not viewable anywhere else available there, which will include the second and third part of the Manifest Your Best Life webinar and the workbook that will be a downloadable file. That material will be available for purchase elsewhere, but patrons get it for free, as well as the future webinars I'm creating. So there's all that. And frequently we have special offers, so when we have one of those and you sign up at certain membership levels, you get additional rewards. Right now, I believe we still have the holiday option where you join, if you join at $25 a month or more, you get, at that level and up, you get free private readings with me at regular intervals. But for the holiday season, you get an additional 10-minute reading to keep for yourself or give away as a gift to someone you love this holiday. So there is that. One of the most exciting parts is being added to a private Facebook group where I am teaching private material about spirituality, psychic abilities, and magic. Right now we're starting with foundational skills. And you get added to that no matter what level you are, so you could be added for as low as $1 a month. Right. For anyone who would like to make a one-time contribution to us and to support this content, you can send a donation through the PayPal link in the description of this video, paypal.me/Lyxanthus. There's no obligation to do any of this. This is all just informative.
Bugs are life.
Just trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Another thing you can find on my Facebook page is the events page, so you can see what live events are coming up. So I suggest you check all those things out. If any of that interests you, you can find all that information in the description of this video. Also, one other thing, my inbox is always open. My Facebook page is the best way to get a hold of me. So if you ever have questions or need advice or clarification about something, feel free to message me. I get back to everyone within a day. I tend to address all my messages once a day. So if it's been a while, or if I've read your message and haven't responded, don't freak out. I just kind of allot a specific time of the day to respond to people. I offer private services, so if you're interested in private services, message me and I'll tell you more about it. I would like to thank you all for watching and joining me this morning. I hope it has offered you some value and that you have a beautiful day ahead of you. Just going to catch up on the comments one last time to be sure I haven't missed anybody. How are you doing over there?
We are good.
See, on Periscope, it seems we have a comment about my makeup. Well, in short, I dress myself for me, and I like it, and that's all that matters. All right. So thank you all for watching. This video will be available for replay if you are coming in at the end. And yeah. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and I will see you again later today and tomorrow morning. So I hope you will join us.